Good morning. You have no video. You're on mute. I
I'm
see the
on
little
mute. I don't know what's going on. All right. Hi,
rookie
everybody.
move.
Welcome to Thrive Live. Live again. Live again.
We
How,
are
how are you, Jason?
good. All is well.
Good. I like that. That's good. How was Valentine's? The
Valentine's was good.
overly commercialized day of the year.
No,
Was
it was good. We had a nice Valentine. How about you with your husband and two children? How did it go?
My husband's birthday was on Sunday. So, there's Ray. I'll bring him in just a sec once his video goes live. So my husband's birthday is 2 days before Valentine's. So it's kind of like for some people when their birthday's on Christmas. Hey, Ray, come on in. So we celebrated his birthday on Saturday because his birthday was on Sunday, real birthday, right? So Sunday was like leftover day. And then my son is a Boy Scout and President's Day is next week. So we put these flags out by subscription. Neighbors pay a subscription. We have this like 8-foot metal poles with a flag on it. We go put it in people's yards. So we did 47 of those last night, my son and I, for Valentine's Day. So that was our Valentine's Day.
Well, that's nice. We appreciate you honoring America. We love that.
That's great.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
Can you hear me?
We can hear
I
you.
hear you, Ray. You're
Oh.
there. Hey.
Awesome.
So that was our romantic Valentine's Day. But my husband gave me a lovely card, and I just got a new Blackstone grill. So that is my
Nice.
Well, excellent. Yeah, I saw I've seen those. Those are pretty cool. So
I love
excellent.
it. I
Great.
love it. I got a small one that's portable. So it's 22 inches and I can take it camping or I can take it, out and about. I've already cooked at work with it like 5 times. So
Oh,
I love it. I love it.
Not bad.
that's great.
Good.
I love it.
My love
Very nice.
language.
Cooking. Oh, good. Nice.
So how was your Valentine's, Ray?
It was nice. It was nice. We sold a house here in Florida, and then went out to dinner.
Nice. That's a good way to celebrate. Fantastic.
Yeah. So we're decided to get out of the local market here for a little bit, and then try to buy something else later. So
Nice. Good for you.
yeah. So
Less hassle. You'll just have to stay at Jason and Elizabeth's house.
exactly. Now I'm gonna have to get my schedule.
It's
together.
rented.
It's always
It's rented. It's
excuse.
full.
Let me tell you, they
always
tell
full.
me that it's always rented, but then I see Elizabeth posting, "Hey, we're available these days." So I don't know who to believe.
It's whoever has the cash.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's
Yeah,
friendship
yeah,
means zero when it comes to rentals. 100%.
Exactly.
Totally
So,
understand.
uh,
So today we're talking about fractional HR
Yep.
and how companies can use fractional HR groups like you guys, many PEOs, to sort of keep things rolling without hiring extra staff, maybe to get staff up to certain expectations that they're wanting to meet. So Ray, talk to me a little bit about fractional HR. Explain that to me, because that was a new term for me when I first started working with you guys.
Yes, I mean, if it really is just basically, uh, being able to get all of your HR work completed
Mm-hmm.
without having to hire full-time staff to do it. Being able to have experts in different areas. Uh, you know, and nobody is ever going to be an expert in everything in HR. But by
Well,
using it,
you have me, but we won't talk about that.
but using this model, you can basically work with a company like ourselves and have a compensation expert, have a benefits expert that can help you roll out your benefit program, your open enrollment, help employees with their issues, and then you can also have somebody that can help with things like performance reviews. I mean, today, right now, with one of our clients, as an example, we've just finished their performance review process, and we did a calibration session with all of their senior leaders, where each leader basically presented their team. and their performance levels. So we actually color coded their org chart to show high performers, mid performers, low performers, and we did the entire organization in in a session of about an hour to an hour and a half. This was a 50-person company in global, but at the end of that meeting, everybody agreed, yes, these are our high performers, people that we need to develop and potentially grow to senior level roles. Oh, and by the way, these three people are rated below expectations, and we need to put it in place some kind of a plan to help them get out of that lower level or manage them out of the organization. So that's that kind of expertise. I mean, you can't just get that off the shelf, with a PEO. I mean, we've PEOs just don't do that kind of detailed work for
Right.
companies.
So let me ask you this just real quick on this particular client. So what you did was you went in with your expertise. You guys do this all the time, right?
Hmm. Right?
And you help them focus down, which I think can be quite difficult when we have personal relationships with people in
Uh huh.
business, that we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing for the company, but also we're a little bit torn. So I think having someone like you walk in makes a big difference, that you're able to, hyper focus them on the needs and what they've hired you to do, right? You hired me to do a
Yeah.
job, let me
Yeah.
do it, right?
Oh yeah, we redesigned their end-to-end program, and at the
Mhm.
end of the process, employees got great feedback on their performance, and they all now have goals for 23 as well as development plans. So employees get a benefit, and then the
Mhm.
leadership team gets a benefit by knowing who their best performers are, and
Yeah.
and making sure that they're kind of laser focused on not losing that talent, because that's
Mhm.
critical to the success of the company.
Absolutely.
This is just a really funky market right now. I mean, there's so many things going on in terms of there's people being laid off and headcount going down. There are people that are being hired and skills that are in demand. So you have multiple things happening all at one time. And so in this situation, you could have projects that need to be done, but you don't have the headcount, but you got to get it done. So you bring in somebody like us to do the project for a specific start and end date, or you may not be ready to bring in, a full-time HR staff, and we can augment your HR staff. You may only want 3 or 4 things done as opposed to everything that a PEO can do. So we're really flexible and we can help out. If you look right now, just everybody's trying to grapple with what this market is going to be doing, what's
Right.
happening. Upwork just completely changed their market. So they were the gig website that you went on there and you found a gig worker to do something specific. Well, now they're totally scrapping that whole model, and now they're going to be potentially try before you buy, contract to full time, so that people can try out an individual, see if it works, and see if they want to hire them. So even they are still in the let's just kind of experiment and see what we need mode, and that's
Mhm.
um, just the challenge of this market is where things are going, and fungible assistance and fungible talent is going to be important as companies grapple with earnings and stock price and pressure from the board and activist investors. You're still going to have to get work done, but you're not going to want to do things that are going to impact your revenue. And so having talent that you can quickly pull on the books and pull into the organization and take off out of the organization without having to do any layoffs is important for the kinds of things that we do and are able to add to a company.
Well, and I think
Yeah.
it's important as well. You mentioned not doing layoffs. That's one other really good reason to look for and use a fractional HR company, because you're not, you may only need this for a certain amount of time. You don't need to hire experts in all different, HR circumstances, so that they're, you're paying them full time. You're hiring somebody, taking on all of the benefits packages and all the stuff you need to do, you can go, right, we need this task done. Let's hire this company, have them come in and do it, and then we'll send them on their way, or we'll use them for other tasks as well down the line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fire us.
yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah,
fine with being fired. You'll bring us back if you need us again. Fire
yeah,
us. We're that's what we get paid.
yeah,
We get paid to be
Fire,
fired.
yeah,
fire us because we've
yeah,
completed the task
Yeah.
to the
yeah,
letter.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, and that's the beauty of our model is that leaders want to be able to call on somebody when they need them, because if you've got an HR issue, it's significant, and being able to call somebody that you trust that can help you get to a solution quickly is invaluable to a business. And that's what our clients are able to do with us. And like Jason said earlier, we've had many a client who has called and said, "Look, I have promised my CEO that I'm going to do this for 6 months.
Mhm.
My team has not done it. Can you, rescue me and get this
Yeah.
completed in the next 90 days?" And guess what? We can, and we
Put me
have.
in, coach. I'm doing it. I
Yeah,
got it.
exactly, exactly, and that's what happens. I mean, organizations commit to things sometimes
Mhm.
that they can't do, but they commit to them anyway. And guess
Right.
what? Once you commit, they don't forget.
Well, and
One of the
Thrive
other
HR.
things, yeah, one of the other things that's happening right now, and we can help with this, is that there's just a huge disconnect. And I talked about it at a panel that I was on yesterday in Houston. And there's a huge disconnect between what employees want based upon, you know, remote work and the pandemic and what they're looking for and how they want to be managed and, the flexibility they want to have, in their job and things that are going on that are changing in the workforce. And there's a disconnect between that and the C suite. And so the C suite, in many instances, have some very specific desires about how they want to manage their business.
Mhm.
And a lot of times, right now, those desires are not in alignment with employees' wants. So, HR leaders are trying to let them know, hey, look, this is really different than what our employee population wants.
Mhm.
And this is basically your guys are crossing swords with the HR leader and the CEO are crossing swords. And so it's hard for them to really go out on a limb and say, you're totally wrong, this can't be done. And so we can come in and have those conversations and be as direct or as tactful as we need to be, but present the information and get you out of the crosshairs of having to tell your CEO or whoever difficult news. And so we do that a lot. And so we'll run the we'll run the traps for you and take the take the incoming flak from the anti-aircraft guns, and we're
Yeah.
happy to do that.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
that's an important role that
Yeah,
consultants are playing right now.
yeah. I mean, we don't mind, getting told you're full of crap by a CEO. Give me the
Or a
number to give me,
friend or a
or
spouse.
yeah,
I hear that
exactly,
from my wife
exactly. Yeah,
10
yeah,
times a
yeah.
day, so I'm immune to it.
That is not true.
That's part
12,
of
you're
what
right,
we do.
12.
That's right. That's right. Uh, and we're very comfortable saying, okay, here's the data, and here's
Yeah.
why you shouldn't be doing this, or here's why we recommend you do this. And making it very cut and dried. And whereas an employee, an HR leader, that's a lot more difficult to do because you've got to
Mhm.
maintain that positive relationship with that leader.
That's true. That's true. Well, and then the other thing that I've noticed a lot, learning more about what you guys do and what you offer to your clients and the stories that you told me about the way that you service clients, you you do this all the time, right? So you have methods, and it's not just one method that has worked for this one client that's going to work for this other client, for this other client. You have tried and true methods that work on all different scales that you can bring into an organization and say, okay, here's what we're proposing that we do for you. And you guys, again, do this all the time. We have different experts within Thrive HR that deal with different gambits of the HR world, and they can come in and say, I do these reviews all the time. I
Yeah,
do benefits all the time. I,
yeah,
so let me take that one, that
yeah,
expertise that
yeah.
I have and bring that one focus to you as you need it.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly it. I mean, right now, for some of our clients, we're in the middle of doing audits of their
Hmm.
benefit plans and filing, uh, legal tax, IRS documents
Hmm.
that verify that their 401k plans are appropriate,
Hmm.
and running the way they should. So we've got very technical individuals that do that kind of work.
Hmm.
We've got other individuals that are out there recruiting, in the Bay Area market for software developers, and we're talking to people that have left, Google and Meta and others, and we're finding them for our clients, which are now able to attract that, those talent, that
Right.
talent. Whereas 3 or 4 months ago, they wouldn't even talk to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
How sad for them. They should talk to us. We're so fun.
You are fun.
they would not talk to us. It's like, no, 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 you don't
They just didn't know what
understand.
they were missing. That's what it
That's
was for
right.
I
them.
That's
know.
Don't
right.
take
It's
it
That's
sad.
personally.
right. That's exactly it.
Take it personally.
Well, yeah, like not everything's just because you have a hammer and nail doesn't mean that works, for every situation. So you've got to bring different tools out of your toolbox to, help the client out, which is, a huge part of it, and knowing how to do that.
Yep.
So, give me
Exactly.
an idea for those who are watching who are not fully familiar with a fractional HR offering. Give me kind of a quick rundown exactly of what you offer for your clients. Like, give me the laundry
Yeah.
list.
Yeah. So for a client, if they want, we can be their fully outsourced HR
Hmm.
organization. And we're doing this for clients today where they pay us a monthly retainer, and we basically are their one-stop HR department.
Hmm.
If there's a problem, you call Ray, and he'll figure out how to fix it. Um,
Hmm.
and then we've also got clients who have very, kind of pinpoint projects they want to work on. And then we can go in and basically provide them a quote for those pinpoint projects to get them off the books quickly and get them taken care of quickly. So,
Yeah, one of the
yeah,
things you said prior to that, Beth, and it's not
yeah,
just Ray. It's we have a VP of comp, and we have a great TA team, and we have a diversity and inclusion leader, and we
yeah,
have everyone that you could manage working um, behind the scenes to support the our organization and to support you. So what you really get is you get this great bench strength without having to pay for one individual who's going to have to do everything. Has to basically greet the candidates at the door and coach the CEO and do everything. And it's hard to find that person that can do all of those things. And then typically people that are skilled in our profession, they don't want to, there's certain things they don't want to do, and they don't want to do everything.
Hmm.
So we allow you to do that, and we give you expertise, and we're less expensive. So I think that's a
That's
big
plus.
thing, is that we're not going to be the cost of a big PEO. We're not going to be the
Right.
cost of Trinet or someone else. Our cost is going to be dramatically lower, and you're going to get the same kinds of things that you do through them, but the cost will not be anywhere near what you're paying for them. And so we are doing that right now. We've had great success with it, and we love the model, and it's just continuing to pick up steam everywhere.
Well, and I think as you go in and talk to a management team about, your services and what they're looking for, you may find along the way that you might even say, I see that this may be lacking. We have someone who can, work on that for you, or maybe there's someone within your own personal team that can come up and step up and take on this role. We talked about, the FTX debacle and how that, had they had an HR department, that would have sort of been their checks and balances. And I was thinking about that this week. I'm a new member of the HOA, and we're going over,
I wouldn't brag about
past
that.
years.
yeah,
We're going over past years of being of service. We do flags for the community. We're on the HOA. We do all this stuff. So,
Are you also the person that sends me the note that my trash can has been out 10 minutes too long? Is that also your job?
That is not me. We
okay.
we outsource that.
Okay.
Outsourcing.
Now I like you. Now I like you again.
Exactly.
Now, okay. Thank you for being on HOA.
So that no one wastes all their money on eggs to egg my front door. So but looking back and we were talking about checks and balances before, how it reminded me going through old HOA business, checks and balances. What's your role? What's my role? How do I, make sure that we're doing this on the up and up? And in business, having, a fractional HR company come in, you guys can help a corporation, not an HOA, figure out what needs done. So there's not, a debacle like the next
debacle. No, it's true. And I mean, we're in the middle now of doing an assessment for an organization where we're taking a look at every one of their 150 plus policies and processes that they should have, and then kind of assessing what do you have, what don't you have, and then how do we prioritize what you've got to get done and build a roadmap for them. So we're doing that today, and we've done that for other clients, and that's the kind of stuff that we really enjoy.
So SBF is still under house arrest, right? So he's still just kicking it on his parents' couch.
Exactly.
Watching ESPN.
Watching ESPN and binge watching.
Yeah.
His mom does what I do and walks in and is like, right, screen time, turn it off. Go take a shower, use deodorant. It's time.
Go outside and play SBF. Go defraud some more people.
Go get some sun shining. Everybody out.
That's right. Keep that tan working, and because she probably has a screen time monitor on his iPad. So,
did you? I know. I just went in a totally random direction, but I don't know. They were interviewing him, and he said that he was surprised at how bad prison was, which is somewhat surprising in itself that you would be surprised about prison was. But he said he was very surprised that he did not have internet connectivity in prison. He said that was the worst thing.
I would imagine. Yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of prison type shows.
Yeah.
I would think in my nightmares about going to prison that internet is low on the list.
Yeah,
I don't think they give you a Wi-Fi password as you walk in with your, here's your new clothes and here's a Wi-Fi password.
Yeah,
just watching Midnight Express. You won't even be thinking Wi-Fi as you watch that movie.
No.
That's, oh my goodness. So my father, as we digress more, my father was the warden of a jail, and he would have prisoners who would sue him because, like, they were supposed to get 2 Oreos and they only got 1 Oreo. So they would sue him personally because they didn't get the allotted amount of Oreos that like the next guy got on his plate. So there's lots to sue for in prison, I guess. I guess Wi-Fi now. I wonder if they're suing for Wi-Fi.
Yeah, exactly.
it may come to that. You never know. But SBF
fractional HR.
SBF, we're not going to do anything for you. Sorry, but other companies were raring and ready to go and ready to help you.
Exactly.
So, if people have questions about fractional HR, as I refer to it, a la carte HR services, because I think for those of us not in the HR world, that sort of makes a little more sense.
Hey, but before you do that, we need to start like throwing some stuff out there because we're getting into, there's a season for everything. And we're getting it's not the equivalent of Fashion Week, but we're getting into speaking season, and so there's different events that are starting to pop up. So
exactly,
Ray will be doing mentoring at South by Southwest. We'll be talking more about that.
Yeah,
that will be you'll be able to register for that. We'll also be speaking at the Founders House Inc. magazine. The very nice people at Inc. have invited us to come and speak at Founders House with them at South by Southwest. So we're excited about that. And then we're also going to be speaking at the California HR roundtable or meeting, which is a pretty big one in Long Beach coming up
Yep.
in May. So other things will start to fall in place, but we'll give you updates on those things as they firm up.
Absolutely. And you guys are seasoned speakers. You guys are always speaking somewhere, presenting somewhere. So they're very good at what they do.
Well, it's like I need practice because I'm always being told in my house to be quiet. So I have to practice somewhere.
That's right. Outside the house. Yeah.
It's because Jason, you need validation that someone's actually listening to you.
I do. We're having a beautiful Valentine's Day dinner. Last time my wife made a beautiful dinner, and she had the house really decorated, and we were talking and we were exchanging cards, and and I wrote some personalized notes to my daughter and wife, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you took the time and you wrote a personalized letter to each of us." And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And they were really touched by it. So we were talking, and my daughter said, "My friend so and so thinks you're annoying." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, she doesn't really like you because sometimes you're annoying." And I'm like, "Okay, thank you. It was a wonderful time to just suck all the air out of the room and validate me." There you go. So yes, I am always searching for validation.
Jason, that's what teenage girls are for. They're for just bursting that bubble.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. She totally sucked all the life out of the room. The vibe went from to like, oh, So.
That's what happens
Poor
sometimes.
Jason.
Yeah,
that's all right. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
It's said with love.
I'm resilient. I'll bounce back.
Yeah.
It's said with love, and if in my case, it would be more of a warning, like if you come back in the room, Mom, when my friends are here,
Yeah, it's not going to be good for you.
Teenage daughters are tough. They're tough.
Yes,
they are.
They're our biggest critics. But when anything happens, we're the first ones they call.
Yep.
We're their safe place.
Yeah, so true.
I told her to lose my number after that.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Joking.
Disconnect the phone.
Disconnect it. That's it. You're done.
Yeah.
So they will not tell their clients to lose their number. If you are in need of fractional HR services, how do they get in touch with you, gentlemen?
Yeah, so it's Ray, REY, at thrivehrconsulting.com. Or visit our website and send us a note. Also, our phone numbers are available on our LinkedIn site. So lots of different ways to track us down.
Yep, you can just send us an email at thrivehrconsulting.com. It's a super easy one to remember.
Yep.
And we're there for you. We want to help you out, and we've got a great team, and we would love to work with you.
And if you'd like to join our Slack channel, just go ahead and comment or drop an email. And
just send an email to Thrive HR Consulting, and we'll add you to the Slack channel. And it's like picking up steam. In the last couple of weeks, we've had a number of people join, and people are now asking questions, and so they're using it as a support mechanism to ask HR questions, and we're responding and answering those questions really quickly. So if you want to correspond via Slack and have a good dialogue and get your questions answered, it's available for you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Great.
Thank you. Congratulations on the house sale, Ray. Awesome.
Thanks.
All right. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks again for joining us. Please remember to search Thrive HR Consulting on social media and wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe, follow, and share to make that connection. To get an invite to our Slack channel, just comment or drop us an email at thrivehrconsulting.com. See you next time.